For some citizens, participating in a democracy is a lifelong commitment. In 2017, a retired school teacher named Sham Saran Negi walked into a polling booth in Himachal Pradesh and cast his ballot at the age of 100. Now, multiply that single act of civic dedication by 980 million. To reach every eligible voter, the election machinery must penetrate every neighborhood in a nation 15 times the size of the United Kingdom, operating across dozens of languages and diverse terrains. Engineering a system to handle that many people falls entirely to an independent constitutional body, the Election Commission of India, or ECI. The Indian Constitution guarantees universal adult franchise, the right of every citizen aged 18 and older to vote. The ECI's job is to take that abstract legal right and build the physical infrastructure required to actually make it happen. The preparation starts with the electoral rolls. Officials have to continuously verify and update these massive localized lists to ensure that new voters are added and that those who have moved away or passed away are removed. Once the rolls are finalized, political parties submit their candidate nominations for each constituency, kicking off weeks of intense rallies, speeches, and public campaigning. But the ECI strictly enforces a model code of conduct. Exactly 48 hours before polling day, all active campaigning must stop. This mandatory silence period guarantees that voters can approach the ballot box free from immediate pressure or intimidation. The system also includes structural safeguards for historically marginalized groups. Out of the 543 seats in the Lok Sabha, 84 are reserved for scheduled castes and 47 are reserved for scheduled tribes. This creates a specific dynamic. In a reserved constituency, only candidates belonging to those specified communities are allowed to run for office. However, every registered voter living in that area, regardless of their own background, casts a ballot to choose the winner. By locking in voter eligibility, pausing the political noise, and protecting demographic representation, the ECI structures a fair contest before a single vote is ever recorded. When polling day arrives, voters first have to prove they belong on that finalized electoral roll. This usually means presenting an elector's photo identity card, or EPIC, to the first polling officer. Next, a second officer marks the voter's left index finger with indelible ink. Because this ink cannot be washed off for several days, it acts as a physical block against anyone trying to vote twice. The voter then steps behind a partition. Keeping the ballot entirely secret is a deliberate design choice to prevent coercion. No one can buy your vote or threaten you if they can't see who you choose. Inside the voting compartment sits the electronic voting machine, or EVM. When a voter presses the blue button next to their chosen candidate, the machine registers a digital signal and emits a loud beep. That signal immediately travels to a connected device called a VVPAT. It prints a physical paper slip showing the voter's exact choice. It displays the slip behind a transparent window for exactly 7 seconds, and then cuts it, dropping it into a sealed lockbox. The VVPAT provides an immediate, verifiable paper trail. If there is ever a dispute about the digital tally, the ECI has a hard copy backup available for a manual recount. The EVM also includes a button labeled NOTA, or none of the above. Choosing NOTA is an active democratic decision. It allows a citizen to reject every candidate on the ballot without staying home or spoiling their vote. Every step in this sequence, the permanent ink, the hitting screen, the immediate paper verification, serves one purpose: engineering verifiable trust into a massive, decentralized system. Maintaining that trust requires reaching everyone, which means overcoming India's extreme geography. The ECI operates active polling stations everywhere across the country, from crowded metropolitan neighborhoods to isolated Himalayan peaks. To reach citizens living in deep forests, deserts, or islands, polling officials deploy via foot patrols, specialized boats, and even helicopter airdrops. Physical and social needs present their own requirements for inclusion. Mandated accessibility features like ramps and priority entry, alongside Braille-enabled EVMs and home voting facilities, ensure that disability or age never results in disenfranchisement. The system also adapts to social barriers. The ECI establishes pink booths, polling stations managed entirely by female security personnel and polling officers. Creating this specific, comfortable environment has a direct, measurable effect on increasing female voter turnout. A democratic right written on paper means nothing if a voter cannot reach the ballot box. The system succeeds only by actively dismantling the geographical, physical, and social obstacles in their way. Despite these logistics, electoral fairness faces modern threats. Heavy disparities in campaign financing give wealthy candidates an outsized advantage. The presence of candidates with criminal records warps local representation, and the rapid spread of targeted misinformation makes it harder for voters to find factual ground. Even in areas where information flows freely, participation is slipping. Metropolitan areas with high literacy rates and easily accessible polling booths are seeing a steady rise in voter apathy, with millions choosing to simply stay home. To defend the process, the ECI constantly updates its countermeasures. They enforce live webcasting from sensitive polling booths, utilize GPS tracking on vehicles moving EVMs, and use digital roll management software to catch duplicates and prevent booth capturing. An electoral system is never a finished product. It operates in a continuous arms race, building new technological shields to block evolving methods of corruption. While the tools change, the concept of collective choice runs deep. Over 2,000 years ago, the ancient city of Vaishali operated through a Gana Sangha, a republican assembly where citizens debated and voted to decide their shared administration and foreign policy. We have traded the open courtyards of ancient assemblies for secret ballots and complex parliamentary machinery. But the core objective, resolving national direction through collective agreement, remains exactly the same. Every time an election takes place, you can trace a straight line of effort, from updating a local electoral roll to applying a drop of ink to the final confirming beep of a VIII machine. But it raises a critical question. Can GPS trackers, paper audits, and digital machines guarantee a healthy democracy on their own? Or does fighting misinformation and voter apathy ultimately require an electorate that actively researches its choices? The logistical framework is in place, but the survival of this thousands-of-year-old tradition now relies squarely on the civic vigilance and participation of the next generation.